Today we're going to do a core routine that is all of my clients' favorite exercises. So thank you to all who submitted your exercises that you like. Today we're going to get started with my favorite exercise. We're going to lay on our back, arms out to the sides, and legs up in a tabletop position, rocking back and forth. You're trying to keep your upper body still and just have the movement in your spine that is causing the shift back and forth, this little rotation. And we're just waking up the core and engaging it, getting it ready to work for us today. All of the exercises today require no equipment, so all you need is an empty spot on the floor, preferably something kind of soft. All right, moving on into our next exercise. We're going to do a dead bug, opposite arm, opposite leg, alternating. Extend out as far as feels right to you. That may be lower, that may be higher, as long as you can keep your stomach, your belly button pressed down into your spine and prevent your back from arching too much at the bottom. Go at the right pace for you. This is not an exercise that's designed for speed, so the slower and more controlled, the better. All right, moving on. We're going to do a Russian twist, twisting back and forth. If you need to rest your feet on the ground, totally fine. If your hip flexors are flared up, that might be something that you need to do, and that's an okay adjustment. We're going to switch feet, put the one that was on the bottom on top, and then do it again. Try and keep your back straight, your belly button pushed in to your spine. Keep everything engaged with just that one movement of rotation back and forth. Nice job. All right, next up we have the bird dog. Again, we're alternating arm and leg. We're doing alternating with opposite arm, opposite leg, and alternating sides as we go. So that just increases the level of instability that our body has to work whenever we're not doing just one side at a time. So that's why we're alternating here. If you find this to be challenging, you can just rest your foot on the top when you take it back. You can rest on the top of the floor there. You don't have to push it up in the air. So do what feels right. We don't want to overextend there. All right, here we're doing the fire hydrant, but instead of a full motion, we're just doing a pulse at the top. And this one really gets the glutes burning. It's really isolating those glute muscles, and that's the whole goal. All right, of course we're switching, so we're going to do the other side, pulsing at the top. Good work. This one you definitely will feel. All right, moving into a tall plank. We're going to do a rock. If single leg is too challenging, you can do double leg, totally fine. But here I'm going to do a single leg rocking plank, keeping everything strong. Whenever I'm in the plank position, I think it's really helpful to kind of think of doing a pelvic tuck, and that will help engage your core and prevent stress on the lower back. I switch legs there, so we're on to the second leg if you're doing single leg, but again, the double is fine. Do what feels right for you. Nice job. All right, down into the forearm plank. We're going to do hip dips, just alternating left, right, If this is too much, you can just hold a plank. You can also do a plank from the knees if that's better for you. So meet yourself where you're at today. No reason to push yourself harder than necessary. We want to get in a workout, but we want to have good form, and sometimes that means we have to work up to doing exercises like this. All right, we're going to do Coach Katie's favorite, and these are glute bridges. So just a complete bridge with a little pause, glute squeeze at the top, and then go down, controlled motion. That's it. These are great for activating that posterior chain, getting your body feeling strong and activated, getting those muscles fired. I like to do this sometimes before I run. Just a couple of these can help get my glutes activated so that I feel better when I start my run. All right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to hold that glute bridge at the top, and then we're going to alternate legs. So we're going to lift one leg and then the other leg while maintaining that high glute bridge position. So the only thing we want to move is our legs at this time. Yeah, nice job. And because we're doing these back to back, that's an added element of challenge. We're working the same muscles, but when we're isolating one leg at a time, we don't allow for the weak leg to not work as much and the stronger leg to overcompensate for that. So this is going to help even out those imbalances. This one is a butterfly bridge. So we're going to work the inner thigh a little bit, and this is one that can make you really sore. So if this is unfamiliar, definitely stick to just one set of these today and make sure that you don't get sore from them before you continue, building up the amount of reps or sets that you do of this routine. Great work. We're going to incorporate some Pilates into this routine, and Pilates is one of my favorite forms of core and strength. So we're going to do some inverted leg lifts. And if this is too challenging, because this is kind of a unique exercise that many of you may not have seen before, you can just keep your legs straight up. You don't have to alternate if you're not quite there yet. Do what's right for you. Okay, we're going to roll down safely. That's where the soft mat comes in handy. All right, and then we're going to go back on our hands and knees, or on our knees, sorry. And we're going to do a little camel here. And again, we're activating that posterior chain, nice and slow, controlled. Squeezing the glutes. You'll kind of feel this full body with your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your core. Everything's kind of activated to keep your body in this really straight line that we're shooting for. To make this one harder, you can hold a weight in your hands. So that can be a level of progression for this exercise. Awesome. All right. Now we're going to go onto our forearms, some donkey kicks. You can see a common theme here where a lot of core work is not just our six-pack abs, we wish. It's also our glutes, our pelvic floor, our hips, our lower back. All of these things are very important. So we're kind of looking at targeting a lot of different parts of the body, not just the abs specifically. So I switched legs here. You can see we're just isolating the glute, activating it. And then we're going to go into hip circles. So we're going to do forward hip circles to begin with, one leg at a time. Hips are always a tighter, weaker point for runners. So these are good exercises to incorporate into a routine. Reverse that circle. So we're going to do a reverse hip circle now. Kind of unwind what we just did. Make some space in that joint for everything. That's it. Nice work. Almost there. All right, switch legs, forward hip circles for this one. And my goal with these videos is to introduce some different types of exercises that maybe you aren't familiar with or you have forgotten about. And while you don't have to always listen to the video or always do the whole thing through, it can at least give you some variety. Switch and go reverse hip circle. But it can give you variety to just incorporate as you're doing your core and picking your exercises and figuring out which exercises you benefit the most from. We all have different weak spots, and so there's different exercises that we can use to target those. Strider's back there chasing flies. All right, we're going to do groiners. So this one's a really great hip opening exercise. We're going to alternate legs, where you bring one leg up at a time. Awesome. Go through the motion that feels right. We never want to force anything to happen. So, listen to your body, get that knee up and leg up as high as feels comfortable to you. And then keep that core really firm in that plank in between as you're alternating one leg and then the other. Awesome. So you can see we're kind of starting to shift into some mobility work. So we're going to end with a little bit of mobility to reset our bodies and get them ready for what's ahead tomorrow. So let's do a downward dog, pedal out the heels, stretch out those calves, kind of give the back a little break here. Great job, everyone. All right, nice work. Thanks so much for joining me today. Give yourself one more little stretch and child's pose just to end it all. All right, if you want to make this more challenging, you can add another round. Thanks for joining.